Should you or should you not C6 your Lauma? Hello, it's me, absolutely nobody, and I want to talk to you about my new C6. She is honestly amazing. I wasn't a big fan. I thought, oh, she's fine. When I was trying her at C0, I was like, all right, that's fine. But then when I got to C1 and was running around with her, she felt so comfortable, so nice. And aesthetic-wise, like, look at the animations. Simple, but still so, like, magical, ethereal. It was hard for me to stop and, like, not appreciate her design. And as much as I like her weapon, though, I really wish I could work out a build that still does the same damage, but uses Lost Prayer. The skin for this weapon is so nice. Not only is like the exterior design embellished with like kind of like crescent moons and stuff, but like if you know the weapon, after the active character is active for a while on field, it generates these little orbs that like match her color scheme. It's really nice. So anyway, let's just jump into her build. At C6, she is now an on-field DPS. I mean, she doesn't have to be, but she is. And weapon-wise, her signature is the best. I've tried out all of these weapons, but honestly, they all fall short. Even like these big EM sticks, not the best. I really like Sacrificial Fragments as a 4-star option, just because it gives you access to your skill a lot more, which feels nice when you're like me and have trouble like managing cooldowns. Aside from that, artifacts, you want to use Night of the Skies Unveiling, that's the name. And yeah, it makes sure that you have not cry characters that have enough damage and crit rate, which I struggle to get still, even with the set, but I'm not far off. I went for a crit damage main stat crown. I think most are going for crit rate main stat, but I haven't found one yet. Working on it. For the goblet, I tried Dendro versus Elemental Mastery. EM provided much more, just need better substats. Crit rate, crit damage, ER would help it a lot, and maybe some bulk. Next, we have an EM main stat, crit rate, crit damage. Wish I had better stats, but a little bit of bulk is fine for now. And for the feather and flower, you want ER, EM, crit rate, crit damage. Still need to get more crit rate on my builds. I'm gonna try to reshape them, but it's fine. She's just out now, so I'm working on it. The drops have been pretty bad, honestly, but yeah. Anyway, so this is the set you want to use. Don't try anything else. I've tried the other support set on C6, doesn't work. Constellations, C1 is a big jump in quality of life. You get so much healing. I'm actually surprised. Initially, I didn't think it was much healing, but now that I've seen her in like high level endgame content, she heals quite a lot. It's a lifesaver. C2 is if you want to support like your Nefer or other characters that are going to be doing these reactions, you're going to allow them to do more, but it's big for Nefer. C3 is just your standard. C3 is just gonna increase your talent level. C4 is, I like it quite a lot because Lauma needs so much energy recharge, and this helps to lessen that burden, but maybe not enough, but it helps some. C5 is again another standard talent bump. And then C6 is when you get a game playstyle change for her. Now she's the on-field DPS, and her damage is so nice. So nice. She stacks big hits very quickly. Talent-wise, you need to max out all talents at C6 because she's using everything. But initially, your skill is the priority. It gives you the rest shred. It gives you your big nuke every 10 seconds or whatever the cooldown is. It's really good. And I feel like I'm trying to see how this pairs and stacks with Nilu's C2, but I'm waiting for that from the anniversary event. Her burst skill is really nice because this is another bump to damage. Not only your damage while you have on-field Lauma, but your other characters. So yeah, very good. And your normal attack, level that as well. All right, let's check out my stats. So You'll see up at the top at EM, we have 1,000. You want over 1,000. I feel like a sweet spot is like 1,200. 1,300 might make your numbers a bit more consistent. Crit rate wise, I had 34, but when you add the artifact bonus, when you add her Nauticai character bonus, when you add Nahida, she's at 84%. So a little bit more in subs would help. More crit damage. I want to get her to like 200, but energy recharge is my priority right now. I need at least like 150. Now let's go test her out in some battle. Okay, so like battling with Lauma is quite nice. You feel like the team is very well rounded. You have your support. You have so many bursts with like moderately fair cooldowns. So you have a lot of iframes that are helping you dodge damage, and then you just have big damage that's like happening a lot. So you have your big nuke, and then you have all of the little dendro cores just blowing up. Even with bosses that have a fair amount of dendro resistance, this boss I think is at 70. I think so, yeah. Or 80? 70? I think it's 70. Still with that dendro resistance, there's so much dendro shredding that the boss drops pretty quickly. I want to see how Nilu C2 will do. I'm trying to get that constellation from the anniversary event. There it is. Dun dun dun. But I want to see if, like with this boss as well, which I think has more dendro resistance than the last, if it helps improve overall numbers. I imagine it would, but I know Shred typically has like, diminishing returns. But even so, with bosses that should kind of hinder Lauma's damage or team damage, it really doesn't. She just cuts right through it. See how fast I went down? And two, all the while healing iframes. It's you feel so secure in this team. Most are like this as well, but this one just seems a little different. For Mavwika, I feel like I always miss my melts. Since she's C6, she's always burning everything around her. So I quite frequently miss my melts. It's a pain in the tuchus. But with Lauma, the damage just pops off. You'll see like dendro cores doing like 100k here and there. For this boss, I feel like it helps you to see how fast your damage stacks, because you want to drop the boss before it starts generating that shield or whatever it is. And even when you get there, you need to drop that shield or whatever that charging phase it goes through. But Lauma just cuts right through it. Right through it. Then, for world bosses, given mechanics and just like how much damage they can put out, I thought this would be a problem. But no, you know what's weird about this boss? Every time I go in co-op to do this boss, there's always a Mavwika who just like insta dies. It's so funny because it's so like you can always expect it to happen. But not my C6 Lauma. I feel weird recommending people to get this character at C6, but it just feels so nice. This boss, if I remember correctly, is the boss that does not want to be hit by hydro attacks. So I thought it might be a nice challenge. Or was that just for the first Dire Stygian onslaught? Maybe. But I figured I might as well just try it out. And to my surprise, it just dropped in the first phase. This is the boss that like changes into the big dragon, right? I don't remember. But anyway, yep, Lauma just drops it instantly. Raiden Shogun, I feel like the classic boss that everyone wants to see and test characters against. I kind of thought she would give me a little bit of trouble by going through those phases of her battle where you have to do all the defeat the clones or whatever, but it drops so fast. So yeah, and apart from the investment in constellations, I don't feel like this team is really that inaccessible. No, I shouldn't say that. A team with more than one 5-star is hard to access. Anyway, when you do access them, it's quite nice. This boss always gives me trouble. Oh my gosh, this boss drives me crazy. Just the number of like hits that you take from the 3 enemies, but because all the iframes again, just all the damage that's happening too while you're inside iframes, it just melts. Go Lauma, go! Yeah. I was gonna showcase all Abyss, but whatever. So I feel like this is Llama's premium team currently. A C2 Nahida with her signature weapon so that she can buff ally Elemental Mastery. Deepwood so that she can shred some dendro resistance. Yeah, there's that C2. Any little crit helps. It gives 20% crit damage and 10% crit rate. And then her stats, you really don't need too much. I just need a lot of energy recharge and EM. Nilu is fantastic. She helps with her hydro application. She has Kiev Kaj Nisut, which buffs ally EM. And I'm waiting for that C2. I'm hoping. Oh, C1 is good because it does extend her little hydro flower thing. But C2, I think, is where it's at. It's such a power jump for her and allies as well. So I'm hoping that this can really help shred more dendro resistance and hydro. So any hydro unit that I get in the future can really mow enemies down. Though I feel like at this power level, like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be fine. Maybe I don't need C2. Yeah, I might not actually need it. But then why stop? Yeah, anyway. Oh, okay, it's just her own damage. So yeah, anyway, and then aside from this constellation that I don't think I need now, you just need one more hydro, and having an ally from Not Cry as well helps to empower Lauma. So I know it's on Favonius for energy particles. She's on the initial set that I farmed for C0 Lauma. This set I thought was going to be, yeah, I was going to stop with this, whatever, but now I'm happy that I have it because now Aino can just use it. And hopefully in the future, maybe Columbina can use it or something similar. Constellations for her are hard to get because her banner is next with Flynn's, but I don't think I'd advise getting her constellations in a Lauma premium team just because Columbina is probably just gonna power creep her all the way out. So if you're lucky to get some, cool, but if not, I feel like it's definitely not worth worrying about. Like, say for Eonsun, I feel like a lot of people were really itching to get her constellations. But yeah, I feel like this is her premium team. Maybe you could substitute some stuff out, like in Hyper Bloom, but I don't advise it. For some last minute ramblings, I never want anyone to feel like they need constellations. Like, you don't. You can enjoy your character at C0, C1, C2, whatever. Especially if you just want it to be support. But if you are considering C6 Lauma, I say get her. If I were to compare her to all of the other characters I have at C6, she oddly feels the most complete. It's weird. In her team, like when I compare it to Mawika, I'm always having to reset. Not always, but oftentimes I have to reset my runs because I'm missing my melts somehow, or, you know, whatever. And because of that, I become frustrated. Not terribly so, but I still become frustrated because I'm like, oh, here we go again. With Farina, I find myself thinking, oh, I got the C6 Farina, and I love her to pieces, but she's kind of just like a burst bot sometimes, and that is frustrating with the level of investment I've made with her. Still love her, but and then with Varessa, this is the first time I felt like she was getting power creeped. It was really weird. Maybe that's because in the past, all the content that I've used her in, she can just brute force through, like almost at base level. But this is the first time she couldn't. Like, she needed a lot of hyper focus on her. Yeah, it was weird. But for Lauma, and I'm trying not to be biased because I know her Stygian onslaught floor was so geared toward her kit, but even when I was running around destroying bosses, it took so little to get her to destroy absolutely everything while feeling very secure in my heals and my iframes and just all the things. Sounded like a lazy gamer. Anyway, yeah. Lauma is definitely worth your time, your effort, and your constellation pulls. If you have it, don't feel pressured. If you want her, definitely go for it. Or like over time, I was not a big fan. I saw Lauma, I thought, oh, another support, whatever. Just get her and move on. But when I got to see one, it just blew my mind how nice it felt having her heal. And then when the C6 hit and she started doing damage, wow, it's full circle. Just everything was there. I'm so happy. I'm really happy with C6 Lauma. Anyway, if you're gonna pull, good luck with your pulls, and I should end this now. Thank you so much for listening for this long, and goodbye.